So I believe you must have completed the task. I told you to go and add the input here, the form, the login form that is in the right-hand side. I told you to go and add it.
Eh? No, my class don't start. No go fit they go there, they are listening to them.
I told you to go and add it to your page. So today, first of all, I want to create other pages that will be linked to the home, service, design, and contact. So, but I don't want to generate them manually. So, what do I do? I hope I'm sharing my screen. Let me check. I'm not even sharing my screen, and nobody bothered to say it. So, what do I do? I'll go to, let me recap. I'm going to create other pages, for example, about service and design with contacts, so that I will be able to link those pages to this particular index page. So how do I go about that? Now, I don't want to create them manually. So what do I do? I'm going to use Google AI, and I'm going to give, I need you to help me fix something real quick. So I'm going to give Google AI my HTML and CSS so that they can generate the other pages for me, so that this class will be fast. So CSS. I need you to use that HTML and CSS documents to create. I think we have, what do we have there? To create, we have a home, we have about, we have service, we have design, we have contact, about, service, design, contact. To create about.html, service dot html, contact dot html, and design dot html page for me. So what have I just done? I'm telling the AI to create a about page, service page, design page, and file page. So it created a file. So I'm going to tell him to give me the documents. Here are the HTML documents. So this is about.html. So all I'll just do, I'll copy it. I'll say Control N. I'll paste it. I'll say Control S. Then I'll save this with about.html. So I'll also create another page Then the next one is service.html. So Control N, S, V. Then I'll come back here and copy this, paste it here, then save it. Then the next page will be design.html. So design.html. Then I copy the HTML file and save it. Now, the next one will be contacts. Contacts.html. So, S, contact.html. So, we now have it. So, what do I do? I have my home here. I have about, I have service, I have design, I have contacts. So, what do I do? I'm going to go to the index page and link them together. So where is my index page? Index. So this is my index page. So I'm going to link them together. If you look at this place is empty. So all I'll just impute their address about.html. The other one is service.html. Then we have design.html. And we also have a contact.html. So when I reload this and I click on these pages, it will take me file not found, contact.html can be found. It may be moved or edited. Okay. So contact.html. Okay. Understand what is happening here. So when you take a look at these pages, you see that some of them are carrying HTML instead of HTML. So you just have to make sure the extension is accurate. The extension is accurate. The extension is accurate. So, but there's something that I don't like here. Everything looks alike. So give me different contents for all the pages you created. Different, make them different from the home page, from the index page. So I'm going to replace about, Control A, Control V. This is HCM. So the next one is service. Let me replace service. So let me replace design. Let me replace design, and let me also replace contacts. So having done that, let me check what the changes are. So refresh. Okay. So when you take a look at the design, service, about, you see that the entire thing is different. Then you go back to the home page. So the difference is not much, but let it be so that we can work with it. And I hope you understand the difference. I'm going to remove this part of this session so that, okay, so what do I do? Now, the next thing I want to do, I need a login form. So I need a login form, and I'll just include the login form in the index page. So what's the login form here? What do we have here? Access your account, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we have some CSS to append. Let me append the CSS so that I'll see what's going on. Okay, so access your account, create this and that. Okay, I don't need this test. Let me remove it. Access your accounts, login, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Class, right slide. Updated right slide container with login form. Okay. Right slide container, login card. So right slide width 50%. Align 19, justify content center. So here are the login, padding, login group, input group. Can I say width 100%? So basically, I need to figure out what is holding that login form together for me to be able to fix it. So complete social media icons section, right slide. Okay. Okay. Inputs. Okay, we have inputs group, then inputs. So what do we have here? Account login. Okay. We have div, login card. Okay, login card. Let me go and talk to login card. Here is login card. Login card. Okay. Background width 100%. Maximum width. Maximum width. Let me make it 500. So see if it solves the problem now. Where is the input for the login card? Login card, login card. Input group, focus. No? Input group, input. Width, 100%. Width, 80%. So we have our login form here. We have our about page. We have our service page. We have our design page. We have our contacts page. So which means we have been able to create all our pages. Now, what do I want to do? This image, I need this picture to be at the center because I noticed that this picture, the top was cropped out of this image. So I'll go to my folder. Here's my folder, my website folder. Then I'll look for that picture, the picture of a tree. So tree. So I want to edit and crop the picture. So I'll take some parts out of it. Okay, good. So we now have it looking better now. So now I hope we still have time. Okay, today we have just 6 people participating. If you have your questions, you can ask now. Okay, Francis is here. Levinus is here. Okay. If you have your question, ask now.
I have a question to ask now.
Okay.
The question goes specifically on the CSS.
Okay.
When you are starting uh, the code, so that you use asterisks and dots. I need more explanation on them. The asterisks you use and the dot.
Okay. The thing is that when you look at your index sum, you can see that there is something called class here. So when you take a look at the class, when I said class, I gave it a name. This is just a name. You can give it any name. So you use class to when you want to speak to your HTML page from your CSS. The relationship is the class. You can decide to use class, or you can decide to use the ID, or you can decide to use the HTML element. So what I'm using here is the class because I want to be specific that what I want to apply the CSS settings to has to be whatever that is carrying a class called right slide. So when I will go to my CSS and I'll say dot right slide, I'm trying to speak to anything in my HTML page that has a class called right slide. So as you can see, when I got the login form from Google, you see that some of the inputs were going beyond the margin. What did I do? I went to look for the class that was speaking to this form and the inputs. So I went to look for input group. You can see from here. You can see input group here. So when I saw it, I said, okay, that's the name. I have to go and trace where I can find inputs group inputs. So that was where I reduced this to 80%. So this class can be any name. When I was designing this left session yesterday, I used left slide. I called it a class called left slide. If I delete this left slide from this place, if I delete it, things will go wrong because the class is no more there. The CSS settings will not apply to that place. But if I replace it back, it will be arranged properly because the CSS settings is addressing any object that has a class called the left side. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, I
So
understand it.
after saying that, you saw dots. So when you see dots, it means I'm referring to a class. But if I mention an ID here and I say left slide, I will not use dots when I want to refer to ID. I will use hash. You know what hash is? I will use hash
Yes.
instead of dots if I want to use a ID to address it. Then for the asterisk that you mentioned, this is more like a query. When you get to SQL, you understand. When you say asterisk like this, it means all. So I'm saying that for the whole entire document, I don't want any default margin and I don't want any default padding. That's because I want to give it my own settings. So I believe I answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
Good. So another question can come in. Another question can come in. So if there is no question, we can close the class. Especially for newbies, this is your opportunity to ask questions. And I noticed that there's only one person that did my assignment yesterday. So I will always advise you guys, if I'm teaching you, go online to study more. Do my assignments because don't get yourself limited. So when I explain something and you see it elsewhere or you studied it and you learned more about it, when you're in the class, you'll be able to communicate better and interact better when you are in the class. So that's the purpose of this live session. So guys, ask your questions. So good evening, good evening. Is there a question coming from that person or that was an echo? Okay. So since none of you are asking questions, it means it's either you all understand this class or you are already professionals. Now, I will throw a bit of light on something. The HTML pages like the home, about, service, design, and the rest of them, you are supposed to create these pages manually because they are supposed to have their own content. You see, they are supposed to have their own content. So, but these days, when you are programming, especially when I'm teaching, I can decide to use AI assistants to get the pages together faster so that we can be able to achieve the goal of the class. Now, just as you can see this page, I will just use a few minutes to open another website for you inside my computer so that you will understand how pages are being linked because this one has the same colors. I don't even know if what I'm about to show you is important, but let me just show you something. So here is my local host. What documents do I have there? Localhost slash Which of them? 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 Login PHP error. Let me see my server. Okay, my server did not connect properly. Localhost slash project 2. So, guys, take a look at this. This one is not a real project, but this is an example of a website. You can see that we have a login page. We have a BAT here. We have FAQ. We have register. I hope you can see that on your microphone, so we are interacting. I hope you can see that as I
Yes,
click
we are seeing.
the links. These are anchor tags. Anchor tags. I'll open. Oh, do I have the time to do that? I will open the files and show you. When you click on it, you see that it will take you to different addresses. Can you see that? So this is how you connect your website together. So what am I trying to say? Your website is a combination of different pages and files. Now, if it's a dynamic website, it can have a database. Because like this website that you are seeing here, it has a database. Let me show you guys. Let me show you something. Localhost, PHP admin. So you can save. You'll be saving your data to your database. And I don't know whether this information is even important to you, but let me just mention it. You connect your uh, front end to your and your back end to your. You connect your front end, your API, and your back end together using the API. So that's where you will have your database connection and all your SQL statements. Okay, you can see school database. So we have not gotten to this place. I'm just trying to show you components of websites and how they work together. So I think we
So
can
this
end.
is WordPress or still HTML?
So at this point where I've connected my site to the database, we are no more talking about HTML, we are talking about PHP. You understand?
Okay, okay.
So if you look at this place up here, you see that the document has changed from a bat.html to a
Yeah,
bat.php. That's
yeah.
because the PHP can understand HTML, but HTML cannot understand PHP. The PHP engine can also understand a JavaScript. Do you understand? So,
Yes.
so it's not .php. Let me show you something. Let me try to open that file if that will be needed. Where is project 2? So save us, save us. So if I open project 2, you can see the series of files that are in this project. About 12 also. Is that project 2? Okay, student dashboard. I'm looking for the index page. Okay, we have index.php. So you're asking if it is WordPress or a code. Look at the
Yeah.
HTML here. Eh? These are
Yes.
HTML codes. And look at the CSS. The CSS here. Look at this folder, style.css. Eh?
Yes.
So some persons can decide to use WordPress also. It all depends on what you are good at. Do you understand? So at some point
Yes.
in your programming, once you are better at doing back end, front end is not usually much of a big problem because front end is easy to generate. Do you understand? So, but
Yes, sir.
understanding the back end and how you communicate, in fact, the word is engineering. The engineering of the whole project is the most important part of the project. So when you are building, knowing how to do what you want to do is more important than cramming a whole dictionary of codes.
Sure.
So that's it. So I think that will be the end of the class. You see, now one person asked the whole questions. So best of luck.